I feel like one day I'm going to be talking to my grandchildren or somebody's grandchildren, and I'm going to say something like, back in my day, we used to gather at these big buildings called movie theaters, and we would get together with other people, and we would sit in big rooms and watch giant screens of movies. And my grandchildren will probably say, other people? You saw other people? Hey, listen, I really miss the movies. I'm a movie guy. I love to go into the movies and get a bag of popcorn and a cold drink and maybe a box of Mike and Ike's and watch a movie. I love it. I love good acting. I love good directing. I love the story. We don't have a lot of movies going on at the movie theater right now, but we don't have to go very far to find good acting. That's not always a good thing. You don't even have to go too far in the Bible. In the Bible, we see the religious authorities, the Pharisees and Sadducees and religious authorities, and they're always coming up against Jesus. And when they're coming up against him, they're always accusing him of something, of breaking the law, of breaking some tradition. And they accuse, and Jesus says, you got it wrong. You've missed the heart of it. But they continue their act of, no, you got it wrong. Get rid of Jesus. And they even continued the act all the way up through the trial when it says they got false witnesses to testify against Jesus. Why would they go through the trouble to get false witnesses if they didn't already know that the whole thing was a sham and a lie? It was all an act, and it was an act they didn't want to give up. Now listen, it's easy to be tough on the religious authorities. That's an easy lot to throw stones at. They're kind of punks and they're irritating. But when it comes to putting up an act, when it comes to living a lie in front of folks so that you can keep up good appearances, man, we may as well be on the movie poster. We're great at that. Maybe we put up an act about work, about our success. Maybe we feel like if we can just appear like enough of a success, then we'll be accepted in our circle of friends or our society. So in the meantime, we put up this act and we throw ourselves into our work and we dig into work, and all the while, we've got this beautiful act going. Things that are important in our life are being neglected and wasted away. And drop the act and let God work in your life. Maybe it's not work. Maybe it's your family. Maybe you feel like if I can put up the image that my family is together and perfect enough, maybe that's what'll get me far in my group and in my circle of friends and in life. And so we post just the right pictures on social media, and we have our family smile and nod at all the right times. And all the while underneath, our family's a mess. Look, can I tell you a secret? My family's a mess too. We're loud and rowdy and don't follow the rules, and we got trouble too. Have you ever looked at the Bible? Man, have you ever looked at David's family? It's a wreck. But in the meantime, instead of just being honest and taking our trouble before God, we try to control the situation and put up all the right images, and we're working so hard at acting out the perfect family that we forget to just lay our broken family before God and let him work. Maybe it's not work, maybe it's not family, maybe it's your faith. Faith, I'm going to be honest with you, faith is an easy thing to act. It's an easy thing to put out the appearance and the image that everything's fine when inside it's not. We put up the act of faith. We attend all the church services. We stream live. We watch the recorded services. We check it off 1, 2, 3 times a week. Maybe we lead a small group or appear on a committee. Maybe we have a good Christian t-shirt or a bracelet. And we're so busy acting out our faith that we forget it was never about that in the first place. And while we're so busy doing all these things that make us appear like good, faith-filled people, our relationship with Jesus is just wasting away. And while we're so busy doing, we're completely neglecting those times alone with Jesus where we just listen and talk and read and spend time falling in love with Jesus. And suddenly our faith becomes something we do instead of someone we know. Listen, the list could go on and on. It's easy to put up an act on the outside, but inside our hearts just get tired and worn out. And it causes us to become grumpy and cranky and not our real selves. And that takes us back to the Pharisees. They always seem mad and angry. It's because they were putting up an act. And they put up an act because they were faced with the choice when they met Jesus. We can continue our act that provides us a nice, safe, respected living and a great image. Or we can listen to this guy, Jesus, who's calling us to something different. Look at Jesus' followers. They didn't have nice, safe, respected images. They were beaten. They were stoned. Some of them were homeless. Paul would later say, I know what it is to have plenty, and I know what it is to be in want. Following Jesus doesn't necessarily provide you a bigger house or a bigger car or a wider range of friends. Sometimes it's the opposite of all that. And so there's the choice. Do we keep up our act so that we can live comfortably and safely and our image is great? Or do we sacrifice it all to Jesus and drop the act? My advice today is drop the act.